Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the world's finest, the DC Comics Review. I am Phil, your Batman, and with me is...
Tyler, your Superman.
Alright, we're gonna What?
I was like, we're gonna mix it up, right? Phil was already saying that.
Yeah, we will... Let's start with Flash, and this portion is brought to you by the Flash Arrow Power Hour podcast and the Flashpoint podcast, because we are going to review Flash.
Now, last week, as everyone knows, I didn't get to pick up my books because of some family things. So I'm going to review Flash 39 from last week's. I'm really digging this Flash storyline. If you haven't been following it, basically what's happened is Barry from a not-too-distant future, I think it's the future in Barry, for about 5 years, has come back because a villain named Overlord in the future basically kills a bunch of people and has driven Barry crazy. So he's gone back in time and has basically started to kill off different villains throughout time to get back. Now, the good Barry is trapped in for lack of a better term, a purgatory by the Speed Force, where he finds people who've been studying the Speed Force for years, and they lead him to like a temple of the Speed Force. And the book ends where future Barry kills Overlord, but is stopped by the police, and he is stopped by his girlfriend Patty along with reporter Iris, while Barry in the Speed Force timeline is knocked unconscious by people he thought were on his side. And that's where the book ends, and I just encourage anyone, pick up this series. It's awesome.
Perfect review, except that did actually come out this week.
Oh, did it? It did,
yes,
you're right.
You were on schedule, so.
Okay, well I apologize because I picked up all of last week and this week's books, so just gotta get caught up.
But yes, I don't know what else to say. You reviewed that pretty well.
I give that book a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. Story's good, art's good. I believe the villain is it Overload, not Overlord?
Okay, I was running from the top of my head. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, no, I believe it's Overload just because, like, all electronics and stuff like that just, like, causes him pain.
He reminds me of, like he's yelling about the signal from all the computers and transmissions in the air, causes his mind just to go crazy. And that's why he decides to blow. But alright, moving forward.
Alright. Next we'll do the Superman portion. This portion is brought to you by The Last Daughter of Krypton, the Supergirl podcast, hosted by Tyler Patrick.
This week, this is the book I got confused. Last week, Supergirl 39 is part 4 of an arc where Supergirl has flown out into a school called Crucible, where they're training people to execute, just be like fighters, warriors, and everything like that. And she's there to save Superboy, and Superboy being Khan, and Khan is being the clone. And in Kryptonian, Khan is a derogatory term meaning abomination. And in the book, Kara says that Khan now represents him and no longer means abomination. And the book is really cool because Kara met a friend on Earth named Michael, and what happens is Kara has to take... Oh, his name evades me right now, because it's something really kind of funny. But he's injured, and she takes him, and Mike's watching over him.
Oh, Comet.
Yeah, Comet, that's what it was. I was like, man, it's something like stellar in space. And Kara goes back to Crucible, but while she's gone, Khan disappears, and you find out that this other guy, whose name I can't pronounce because some of the names are... I'm not good with names, people. Maybe. You know this if you listen to my other podcasts.
Well, me either, especially when they're made-up space names.
Exactly. Has taken over the school for the Crucible. And when Kara arrives, she finds out that they're actually cloning Khan to make a breed of warriors. And that's where the book ends. And I don't know if like anybody has jumped on, and I have an upcoming episode of Last Daughter of Krypton where I'll be reviewing Supergirl for the new 52. But I'm really digging what they're doing. I'm really digging the character. And, jump in that series.
Yeah, because I think they're, once Convergence hits there, I think they're canceling. I don't know if they're coming back or not, at least not right away.
Well, what I've kind of thought of and felt out is they're going to cancel Supergirl, and then maybe what people are thinking is when they relaunch the title, it'll be closer to the series coming out, and the Supergirl will kind of mirror a little bit more of what's going on in the series. I think along the lines of way the Green Arrow book is similar to Arrow. It's not exactly a adaptation of the show, but it's a little bit more reminiscent of what's going on the series. I think that's what's going to be done, but I could be wrong.
That sounds cool. Plus, during Convergence, I know she's in Convergence. There, I don't know if there's like a book that was it like 80s Superman, and she's in that, so you'll get like an 80s version of Supergirl, maybe.
It's going to be crazy. When we get to Convergence, Phil, it's going to be a lot of, okay, let's discuss this.
Let's explain everyone. All right, and since we're on Superman, do you want to do your review of Earth 1, Volume 3?
Earth 1, Volume 3, I took a little time with my review for this because if you haven't been checking out this series, you definitely need to. This has been I look forward to each one of these volumes. I have said it before that I wish the Man of Steel film had been more based off this version of Superman, the way they've done it. And Earth 3 just continues to amaze. I mean, seriously, if you love comics, you love Superman, go buy the whole volume. They're all worth it. But Earth 3 starts out with Superman is established, still not trusted by the government from what happened in Volume 2, where he went into a hostile nation and brought down the dictator himself. Everyone sees this as kind of this act of him being an overlord himself, and they don't know what to do or can't trust him. But then all of a sudden, another Kryptonian shows up and says, hey, I'm on your side. My name is this, and he is from a house of liars, and you can't trust him, but I will help you destroy him. And that Kryptonian is Zod. But in this, they call him Zod L. And they try to make it, is he related to Kal? But they don't really specify. And I wonder if that was just him trying to dupe Kal. Not sure. But meanwhile, Lois decides that she needs to get a hold of Superman and creates the Superman signal. It's a great panel shot of her standing on top of the Daily Planet, shining a signal into the sky, much like the bat signal. That is the Superman symbol. Because she said, you're up in the air, how else can I get a hold of you? And it's a great story. I don't want to spoil anything. It's just, this is my Superman. Like, this is the Superman that I love reading, and I love that Clark has a relationship in this, and the way it's developed, it's great. I don't want to say too much, Phil. I give it a 5 out of 5. I want people to just go pick it up and read it.
I would probably go 4.5, at least 4.5, because, like you said, you wish the Man of Steel was like this. I wish the monthly Superman books were like this book.
That too. I mean, I'll get behind you on that. I wish it was like a bi-monthly series. If nothing else, this book came out, the first volume, right around the time they were talking of rebooting which would be Man of Steel, and I had hoped it had taken more cues from this. Mm-hmm. But I just really love this story.
All right, cool. And I'll buzz through. I have 2 books, and then we'll get to the Bat books. But these next 2 books are brought to you by Channel 52, the DC podcast, hosted by Lilith, Tyler, and Charlie. The first one was Deathstroke number 5. You didn't happen to pick this up, did you?
No. I've heard a lot of good things about the new Deathstroke run, and I'm actually waiting for trade, just so I can get the whole gist of everything that's been going on.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Well, basically, Slade Wilson's kind of been, he was injected with something, and because he was badly hurt, but not only did his healing factor heal him, but now he's younger and has 2 eyes. And this issue opens up where, it's Deathstroke 5, it opens up where issue, Deathstroke number 4 left off. It's, Harley Quinn set up Deathstroke, so now he's in a fight with Batman.
Sounds like Harley.
And he realizes Batman's kicking his butt, and he's like, what's wrong with me? And then he realizes he's not used to fighting with 2 eyes.
That's an interesting concept. You would think you would adapt back to having 2 eyes a lot easier than the idea of losing an eye.
You would think, but it's Deathstroke. So, yeah, so they're going at it until Harley blows up the building they're in. And then, I don't know, Harley has a change of heart and helps Slade Wilson get away.
She's such an interesting character. Like, DC's pushing her hard right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just such a weird, because she's, like, good, bad, but doesn't really know what she's doing. Like, she just does whatever, has no consequences. If she wants to be, like, a hero, she will. If she wants to be a villain, she will. She just is really weird, like, in my opinion. Because they've kind of made her exist outside the Joker.
Yeah.
Which I think has its positive and its negatives.
Well, I don't know if they're trying to make her an anti-hero, and it doesn't help that, like, since they're trying to push her so much, she's appearing everywhere, so, I don't know, she seems, like, schizo because, like, 50 different writers are writing her.
Yeah, I just feel like she's one of those characters, like, that's becoming so popular that everybody wants to put her in their book, and her stories just are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. I mean, convergence is coming.
Yeah. So, I'll give this book a 4. It had an awesome Deathstroke Batman fight.
Cool. Like I said, I definitely want to read it. I just wanted to wait for Trey because I hate when you try to get caught up in a book and you can't find the back issues. And I'm not one to really buy digital comics. I like to have the book.
Yeah. But the next book I got was Futures End 43. Brainiac's still at it. Superman's trying to stop him. Lois finally discovers Superman, that he's alive.
Okay, we're talking real Superman, not Shazam Superman.
Yeah, no. Lois comes face to face with the real Superman.
Awesome.
And she's like, where have you been all this time? And he said, recovering. And she says, from what? And he says, the war. And he's like, from what people expected me to be and what they expected me to do. And then and Lois says, people, you mean the Justice League? And then she's like, they're all fighting Brainiac. She goes, except I haven't seen Batman. And Superman says, don't say that name. So
wow.
Something went down between Bruce and Clark during the war.
That's kind of that's really interesting. Like, they always want to drive that wedge. I feel like they always have this Batman and Superman are against each other, and I'm like, why? Why can't they just get along for a change?
Well, I think it's the whole thing. They want that darkness and light,
That balance.
Yeah. But then we got Batman, we got Batman Beyond, we got a bunch of people trying to stop Brother Eye at the same time, and basically, I mean, this issue's kind of still where the last one was, where it's like, I don't know, I guess Brother Eye decides it's going to save humanity from Brainiac by taking it over.
It's kind of creepy, but interesting at the same time.
Yeah, so, like I said, it seems like it's spinning wheels from, like, the last issue or two, so I'll give that Futures End 43 a 3.
Okay. Sometimes those series that are drawn out like that, it's kind of hard to rate the individual books.
Yeah, especially the weekly, yeah.
Because I feel like, yeah. So, okay, moving on.
Okay, let's see. Well, that was it for me, so we'll get to everyone's favorite portion, the Batman books. And, of course, this portion is brought to you by Before the Bat, the Gotham podcast, and also Southgate Media's new Gotham podcast, Gotham Tonight. Check it out. The first issue for Southgate just went up. But, all right, let's save the best for last. So we'll start with Catwoman 39.
Go for it.
Well, continues the story. Selena Kyle's running a crime family in Gotham. She's basically almost at war with Black Mask, and there's another woman running around as Catwoman. And what got revealed to us this week, Tyler?
What got revealed is that Selena Kyle is bisexual, which was a very interesting and almost awkwardly twist. But I like what you said, Phil, and I'll let you explain it, because I think it's a really cool theory.
Well, all it was, I mean, it was a kiss. There wasn't anything else, but I was just saying that perhaps this is just Selena Kyle being a narcissist, because the woman she kissed was the new Catwoman, so maybe it was like the closest she could get to loving herself. I don't know.
I think that's a little some sweet, deep Freud there for you.
Yeah, I think it's more Freudian than
Phillian.
Biological.
But I don't know. We'll see how it develops. But my tagline for everything I'm kind of unsure of is convergence is coming.
So what do you give this?
Catwoman. It's hard. I think the writing's good. I don't like the idea of her being more of a crime boss.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked Volume 1 and 2. I bought for my wife. It helped her get into comics of Catwoman. I thought the writing on those were solid. It created a very unique, more of that, we were talking about that blend of anti-hero Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
And I really missed that feel. I think her out of the suit and as a crime boss is just really awkward. I'd say a 3, 3.5.
That's funny. I gave it a 3, so.
But, all right.
Well, next was Batman Eternal 47. Did you get that?
Yes, I did.
All right.
I think. Yes.
What were your thoughts?
I'm reading so much Eternal because I'm trying to get caught up and I'm trying to remember everything that's going on in Eternal.
Yeah, this is well, it starts with Hush in the cave, and then Julia Pennyworth, Alfred's daughter, meets with Selena Kyle.
Okay. Yeah. I started. I have it upstairs. I just haven't finished it. I read all 21 issues in like 2 days of Volume 1 of what do you call it, of this series, trying to get caught up as much as I can, and I'm buying them backwards to get caught up. So I have a lot of Eternal on them.
Yeah. So basically, Catwoman, or should I say, Selena Kyle calls for Batman, but he's indisposed. So Julia Pennyworth shows up in a it's almost like a Rorschach from Watchmen mask, but all it is it's like plain white, but with a bat on the front of it.
See, that'd been sweet if she was like, "The world will cry up and shout, save us,"
Oh.
and I'll whisper, "No." She should say that.
But yeah,
just because that's Rorschach's best line.
Yeah, basically, she gets the info that Selena wanted to give Batman, then she tells Selena, "Go scratch litter, kitty."
I'm liking the Julia Pennyworth character. I think it's really cool. Alfred is a great character that just needs more. I love learning more about Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Julia Pennyworth character would be something even cool to explore on Gotham. And we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah. Yes. Listen to Before the Bat, the Gotham podcast.
All right, now it's time for the big book, the one that we wait for, and the one that has us gripping on edge that makes us go, "Oh my gosh, did they really do that?"
That's right. I'll give you a hint. Scott Snyder.
We're talking about Batman, issue 39, Endgame Part 4, is it?
Hold on.
Or is it Part 5?
Part
usually
5.
It says. Usually it says, but in the pages it didn't say it. I was like, wait a minute.
No, it's on the very first page, Part 5.
How'd I miss it?
It's right above the credits.
Maybe I was just too excited to read.
So
because where did this book start? The Court of Owls.
So what did you think?
Man. I don't know if we should spoil this or just tell them to go read it, because there are some twists and some turns. I love, at the beginning, Batman's talking to the Court of Owls, and they have this thing of Gotham, like this model of Gotham that hangs above them upside down, referencing how the city is built and destroyed, and they don't care what the Joker's doing because it will subside and they'll rebuild Gotham. And I love how Batman just burned it down, basically.
Yeah. Well, if we want to wait a week to talk about it without spoiling too much, let's just say, like you said, the Court of Owls plays a big part in this. The Batcave and Alfred receive a jovial visitor.
Yes.
Hold your breath for the Alfred part, and then let's just say, besides his usual allies, Batman gets some unusual allies in his fight against the Joker and the Joker virus.
Yeah, this is definitely a book that I feel like everything we could say is a spoiler, and I just want people to go pick this up. If you haven't been reading Endgame, you need to start. I mean, anything that Scott Snyder has written for Batman is reading. I mean, yes, I love Batman, but when I first picked up his first issue, I was completely hooked on this series, and it hasn't let up since it started.
I think you will agree with me. If you can only read one Bat book, read Batman.
Yes, I completely agree. I mean, there's no bad Batman book, but this is one that, like, even when I was poor people, and my wife, like, we were really scraping by, I asked her if I could buy one comic book a month, and it was what I bought was Batman. No sob story here, I'm just saying, it was that good.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but if I can only buy one DC, I think it would be Batman.
Oh, it would be. As much as I'm a big Superman fan, and I love what the character and what they're doing, but the writing for Batman is just amazing. This book, a 6 out of 5.
6?
I give it a 5. Like we're gonna keep to our scale. I'll give it a 5.
5+.
Yeah.
So he liked it, people.
I give it a 5+. I give every Scott Snyder Batman book a 5+.
Oh yeah. All right. Anything else?
You know what I'm gonna throw out there is like if you love comics, please go out, support your local shop, find a shop, Google a shop, visit a shop, just dive in. If you ever need any suggestions on books, hit Phil and I up on Twitter at JTYPatrick and at NightwingPDP. Also, check out your local library. I know mine here has a lot of books. I reserve graphic novels all the time. It's a great place to get caught up. Just find something to read.
Yes, we will give you recommendations. But yeah, so once again, you want to get a hold of us, I'm NightwingPDP@gmail.com and on Twitter at NightwingPDP. Hit them with your info one more time.
And I'm JTYPatrick on Twitter and JTYPatrick@gmail.com.
Alright, well, that's it for this week. Please tune in again next week, where we will drop more knowledge on you.
I'm Tyler Patrick, your Superman.
And I am Phil Parrott, your Batman.